welcome back. Finally making a new video. So I thought I'd share some of the things that are keeping me interested during lockdown. So some things that I'm reading, watching and listening to at the minute. And it's also Ramadan at the moment. That's the Muslim holy month where we fast for 30 days between dawn and dusk. And honestly, it's been really nice fasting during this time because we can use it properly for self-reflection and to practice our patience, and to also stop us from excessively eating, because I found that before Ramadan in lockdown I was eating a lot. So it's nice to kind of take a step back from that and just be a bit nicer to your body. But anyway, since I'm not working or studying or anything at the moment, I really have had a lot of time to watch things and read things and listen to things. That's been really nice. So I'm going to start with the things I've really been enjoying reading at the moment. So my goal for lockdown has been to not buy any new books, and I've really tried to fall back in love with my bookshelf. That's what I'm calling it. So because I'm not trying to buy anything, I'm picking up the books that I either haven't read or I haven't read in a long time. And these tend to be books like non-fiction, because before I found that non-fiction was just far too big to carry with me, or it just didn't fit in my bag, or it's too heavy. So I'm really enjoying reading those right now. I'm also reading and rereading a lot of my classics. So I've really been enjoying reading classics because I've been watching the adaptations as soon as I finish the books. It's been really nice, so I can compare it to the book and see which one I prefer, or which adaptation I prefer as well. So a couple of weeks ago I read Sense and Sensibility. That was really nice because I watched the adaptations afterwards and really fell back in love with a book that I hadn't revisited in a long time. The next classic I really want to read is The Mayor of Casterbridge, because I have this beautiful edition on my shelf that I'm just going to get now. So I have this lovely hardback copy of 3 of the Thomas Hardy books, and The Mayor of Casterbridge is one of them. And I never really thought to read from a book like this. I have quite a few books like this, but I don't actually like reading from the hardbacks as much as the paperbacks, but I'm really going to try and read The Mayor of Casterbridge. I actually didn't know about this, but there's a adaptation of the book as well that was from 2003, so I'm really excited to watch that straight after I read it as well. I've really been enjoying reading classics because both the books and the films or TV shows are really easy to find online. So classics tend to be the cheapest books on ebooks or in shops. You can find them so easily secondhand for really cheap, and online they're either free or really cheap. So that's why I've really been enjoying reading classics at the moment, because like I said, I don't want to add too much to my bookshelves at the moment. And also I found that there are loads of literary adaptations of classics on things like Netflix and Amazon Prime and iPlayer, and also Dailymotion's quite good for older productions. And again, it's been saving me some money while keeping me interested. So yeah, I've really been enjoying revisiting and finding some new classics. So when I'm not in the mood to read a book, I've also really been enjoying listening to dramatised readings of books. So on BBC Radio 4 Extra, I believe, they're doing dramatised readings of Sylvia's Lovers by Elizabeth Gaskell. It's been really nice because I've never read that book before, and Jodie Comer plays Sylvia, so it's just nice to hear someone read it. It's a bit like an ebook, but much more condensed and, like I said, dramatised, so it is a bit more interesting. And they're often a lot shorter as well, so you can get through these stories quite quickly. So there are quite a few on BBC Radio 4 Extra. I think there's The Lord of the Flies as well, but there's loads of different books on there that I've enjoyed listening to. And also Elizabeth Gaskell's house have been doing read-alongs. That's really nice. I'm sure loads of other places and people are doing read-alongs at the moment. So Elizabeth Gaskell's house recently hosted a North and South read-along, and now they're on to some of Elizabeth Gaskell's Gothic novels. It's really nice to have somewhere to discuss the books with other people, especially because we can't see each other in person. You can keep in touch with people online or connect with new people through discussing books. So when I wasn't in lockdown, I really enjoyed spending time at art galleries, museums and heritage sites. So I found a couple of things that keep me in touch with the things I love. So I really enjoyed listening to a podcast called Meet Me at the Museum that's hosted by the Art Fund, I believe. So basically the premise of this podcast is that a famous person or someone quite well known takes someone else around a museum and they kind of talk through the exhibitions or interview someone who works there, and it's really nice because a lot of the places that they go to on the podcast I've never been to before, or I have been to, so it's nice discovering new places to add on to my list of places that I want to go to when lockdown is over, of course. Following on from the museum my love for museums, there's a new series on BBCiPlayer called Museums in Quarantine. So obviously, because museums and art galleries are closed at the moment, we can't see the exhibitions that are up there, or the exhibitions that we would have been able to see if isolation wasn't a thing. So in the show they go to museums that are currently closed and have a look at the exhibitions that would have been on, but the ones that we can't now see. So in recent episodes they went to the Ashmolean in Oxford, and the one before they went to the Tate Modern, I believe. And yeah, it's really interesting because you can see the exhibition without being there in person. That's really sad, but also quite nice that we can see it anyway. Yeah, so those two things I really enjoyed to stay connected with my love of museums and art galleries, and I'm so sad that I can't visit them at the moment, but I'm very excited to when we're allowed out again and once they're open. So there's also loads of things on BBCiPlayer that I'm enjoying at the moment. So I binged watched Normal People recently, that I'm sure everyone's watched. I loved it, just thought it was gorgeous, just beautiful really. Obviously I'm watching Killing Eve as well every week. I'm really enjoying watching Killing Eve. For those who are really sad that we're not able to travel at the moment, I highly recommend you watch Race Across the World. It's a great show for people who love travelling or love learning about other parts of the world. It's one of my favourite shows. There are 2 seasons. The first one I did prefer, but basically it is literally a race across the world. So there are teams that get given money equivalent to the price of 1 plane ticket to the destination, and they have to get to the destination through means of transport that isn't aeroplanes. So that's trains, car, trams, boat, literally anything that isn't a plane, and they have to get to a destination on the other side of the world, or a place very far from the original destination. It's honestly one of my favourite shows, and I try and recommend it to everyone, and I just love it so much. So if you're in need of something to watch, I recommend that. So other things I've been watching, I watch a lot of things on UK Amazon Prime as well. So obviously Outlander season 5 is on at the moment. I really want to do a review of Outlander season 5. I love Outlander. It's my favourite show of all time. I think it's amazing, and I could talk about it for a really long time, that I might do in a whole other video. It's nearly the end of the season, so that's going to be really sad when that ends, but I'm sure I'll be rewatching it because I rewatch Outlander all the time. I also recommend The Marvellous Mrs. Maisel. That's an Amazon original. It's super funny and just written really well. Beautiful, beautiful costumes. It's a really feel-good show. I watched it really quickly in a couple of days, and there's a couple of seasons on Amazon Prime to enjoy, so I recommend that if you're in search of something a little more light-hearted and funny. If you really want to binge watch something, Downton Abbey is on Amazon Prime at the moment. Obviously there's lots and lots of seasons to get through, so if you have a lot of time on your hands, as I'm sure lots of us do, then Downton Abbey is the one for you on Amazon Prime. And there's loads of really good period dramas on Amazon Prime at the moment. So there's the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society, there's the Duchess, and loads more. If you want to treat yourself as well, the new 2020 adaptation of Emma is available to rent on Amazon Prime. It's a little bit on the pricey side. It's £16 for 48 hours to rent, I believe. But if you haven't watched it and yeah, want to treat yourself, then yeah, watch the new adaptation of Emma. I haven't watched it yet and I really want to, but like I said, I'm waiting for a special occasion because £16 is a lot of money to spend on a film when you're at home, when there's loads of other films to watch. But yeah, if you're desperate to watch it, then I'd suggest you go ahead and go on Amazon Prime. And when I'm not in the mood to watch a TV show, I've really been enjoying watching people's Instagram lives. My favourite series of Instagram lives have been with Hayley Reed, I believe her name is pronounced. So Hayley Reed played Elizabeth in Poldark, and she's been interviewing or the Poldark cast on Instagram Live. That's been really nice because they give you an insight on the behind the scenes of the making of Poldark and their audition stories and things like that. So she's interviewed Eleanor Tomlinson, Ruby Bental. Oh, she's interviewed most of the cast, and I think they're still available on her feed, so I've really enjoyed watching those. Because I really miss Poldark and I really miss my old favourite shows, so it's nice to revisit them with her and listen to her stories and yeah, be all nostalgic about it. So there's loads of courses online as well for those who want to learn a bit more seriously and more structured. So FutureLearn have loads of courses, and one that's interested me is the History of Royal Fashion one, and it's really good because it takes you week by week through each of the royal monarchs and the different periods of history. So it goes from the Tudors up till Elizabeth II now, and that's been really nice learning a little bit about historical fashion. And the Open University also have loads of different courses. So I've written some that have interested me. So there's one called What is Heritage? Exploring Thomas Hardy's Far from the Madding Crowd. There's one about land grabbing and whether it's an environmental issue. And there's one called Understanding the Environment. So there's literally a course about anything you're interested in. Whatever you're interested in, there'll be a course for you. So I really enjoyed looking at the history ones, the English lit ones, and the geography ones, because they're the subjects that really interest me. And just other things I've been doing, I really enjoyed cycling. I try to go as often as I can, obviously within the once a day limit, but I really enjoyed cycling because I'm not fit enough to go running every day. But it's really nice because you can go quite far in quite a short amount of time. And the weather's been really nice in the UK at the minute, so I really enjoyed cycling. I'm not the most artsy person as well, but I really enjoyed doing some embroidery, some flower pressing and writing some postcards and letters to friends. As you can see, I love postcards and own a lot of postcards, so it's really nice to put some to use and put the ones that aren't on my wall to use, because I find that I stash a lot of postcards and then just don't end up using them, so I'm trying to use those up as well. And yeah, just brighten someone's day by sending them a letter or a postcard. And I forgot to mention some theatre bits that I'm really enjoying watching as well. So every Friday Andrew Lloyd Webber's releasing one of his productions on YouTube. So he's released Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, Phantom of the Opera, Love Never Dies, and one of his concerts, and that's been really nice because a lot of these concerts and productions you can't find online or you have to buy them, so it's nice that they're free on YouTube for a little while. And I've also been really enjoying the National Theatre productions that are coming out, and the National Theatre Live ones, they're really nice. They've shown some really good productions. I watched Jane Eyre recently, I think they did Taming of the Shrew. They're just some theatre bits that I've been enjoying because obviously you can't go to the theatre. I love going to the theatre. I had a couple of theatre bits booked for this time, but obviously they've been cancelled. So yeah, it's just been nice to live out a theatre experience at home. So yeah, they're just some of the things that are keeping me interested at the moment. I'd love to say that I've been really productive, but I haven't. I really haven't. And I don't think there's any pressure for anyone to be productive. It's a weird time we're living in, and I don't think we should set any expectations for anyone. Because everyone deals with it how they want to deal with it and in the way that best suits them. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well and are safe and healthy, and yeah, thanks for watching.